Good morning.
Morning.
So, let's see how bright white the halo is today with the hair exposed here. Let me move this around. That's the one thing I forgot to do. Let's move my mic over. Because I have a Panda. And how is that not hooked in there right? Okay, that is right. Yeah, we're prepared this morning. Can you tell? Or I'm prepared. Not to get it around everything. So how is everybody doing today? We are gearing up for Halloween, Samhain, and Dia de los Muertos. So I've started getting a little spoopy with my backdrop over here. Okay, mental note. Moving the microphone is not easy.
Boy, and hell.
It's like, okay, I'll just move this, No. I forgot I got the tethers on the cords, so I don't have cords everywhere. Okay, so that should work now. Keeping it real. But, so, some cool stuff's been happening on the interwebs. We're going to do in spoopy fashion. I'm going to pull a tarot card for the day, just for the heck of it. And I hit 300 subscribers or 300 followers. Mm-hmm. I wish 300 subs. 300 followers on Twitch. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be doing a 12-hour spooky game. Not spoopy, although some of them are spoopy. But I'm going to be doing some not necessarily kid-friendly games on Halloween Day. And I'm going to have to, majorly state that this is not a kid-friendly thing.
From what I've been watching of Long Dark lately, the new chapter is not.
No.
Either, because you're having to deal with the prison storyline, and that is not friendly.
No, not at all. Not at all. So, healing juju for the Panda. But he's been going to the chiropractor because his neck's been out, and it's actually in between his shoulder blades, so he's been in a lot of pain the last few days. So, thank you for being here.
It's okay. Most of the time, I'm okay.
He's my emotional support Panda.
Most of the time, I'm fine if I can just sit, up straight.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
But I got him this very fashionable,
right? Yeah, plaid and everything.
Heating
nicely with the brown shirt.
Yeah. So he's been doing that, and it's been helping more than the ice has. So, but oddly enough, I have a throw Afghan that is that exact fabric. It is the exact same fabric. It's like they took a bunch of the blankets and cut them up and made heating things.
Filled them with stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I filled them with stuff and things, and yeah. But and I have my new spoopy earrings from Run to the Wild, and I'm gonna actually link you guys to her site. My girlfriend Courtney who is amazing. She's really sweet. She lives here local. And she's actually going by Embody Aura now. She's doing crystals and some other stuff. She's still doing her jewelry. But this is her shop. If you like these earrings, I'll put the box behind so you can see. They're super cute. I love them. And she was a sweetheart and actually sent me a second pair of earrings that absolutely cracked me up. They're little mushroom girls.
They look like something out of Alice in Wonderland or
Alice in Wonderland, but they remind me of the leg lamp.
They
remind me of the leg lamp from Christmas.
The leg lamp from Christmas Story. Christmas Story. Yep.
Which is actually not one of my favorite movies. Everybody always talks about that one every year, but I'm a White Christmas. Holiday Inn is okay. I like White Christmas a lot better. Mm-hmm. Although in Holiday Inn, it was really interesting. Of course, Mamie, I absolutely adore, and I cannot think of the name of the actress. But her kids, name of the actress. I actually don't have her listed on the regular one. Let me see if I've got her here. There was two people that I recognized. One was George Chakiris, who was a dancer at the Carousel Club. He was actually Maria's brother in West Side Story.
Oh, okay.
That's him right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's Maria's brother from West Side Story. The other one was I forgot Alfalfa from Little Rascals, the original one.
Yeah.
Was in it too.
Must have been really young there.
Yeah, and they don't have her credited in here. I can't think of the name of the actress that played Mamie, but her daughter was Cicely Tyson.
Oh, really?
And she was like really, really little. Okay. She was like 8. Something like that. But her two little kids who were adorable, was one of them was Cicely Tyson. Yeah. Who I absolutely love her. She was in Fried Green Tomatoes. I think that was one of the last movies that she did.
I think so.
I'm not sure.
I'm trying to remember. I think that's close. Yeah.
Yeah. But she just absolutely lovely woman.
Because I remember the movie. I've seen the movie 2 or 3 times, but they're spread out.
Yeah.
between viewings.
Yeah.
So
but as far as spooky movies, we actually watched the Muppets Haunted Mansion movie the other day. It was really cute. So that's definitely spoopy. The other one I love watching this time of year is Vincent Price, House on Haunted Hill. Mm-hmm. And then you were talking about Wax Museum House of Wax.
His movie House of
anything
Wax.
Vincent Price. Yeah. Just about anything Christopher Lee.
Most of what he's in, I watch because of him, not because of the plot or the story.
Voice. That's why
he's just.
It's like I love Thriller only because of that. I mean, I love Thriller anyway, but the one
of the video,
the one section that's Vincent Price is like I could just listen to that over and over again.
And the narrative, it's just
priceless. So when he starts doing, Vincent Price needed to do audiobooks. Mm-hmm. I would listen to that all day long. Him, Sam Elliott, Cumberbatch. I actually have a couple of different books with Cumberbatch doing audiobook on there. Stephen Fry.
I'm trying to remember his name now. The one that does the Buick commercials now.
McConaughey?
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
They had him on Graham Norton talking about him being on the Calm app because he tells you the bedtime story.
He is.
Yeah, he tells you the bedtime story, and it's just like, I'm zonked. The other one is Eva Green. I absolutely love her voice. But there's one more guy.
Yeah, she's really good at narrative too. I've heard her in a couple of things.
Yeah. Penny Dreadful is definitely getting a rewatch. Grimm is getting a rewatch. Both of those series are good. Penny Dreadful is definitely not kid friendly. It's kind of like Game of Thrones level.
Almost.
No.
Well,
it's anything involving Dorian Gray is like Game of Thrones level.
Yeah.
So trying to think of
specific scenes are most definitely.
Yeah. Because the first time I was watching it, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, so we're gonna go there.
Yeah, it's kind of like
okay.
It's kind of like what is it called? The one with the fairies and the
Bright?
No, not Bright. The other one that she's in, is she in? And it's the one with the
Flying Witches. Or she's one of the witches. Golden Compass.
No, not Golden Compass. The TV series. I can't remember the name of it. No, that's not it. No.
And it's Eva?
I don't know. It's the one with the fairies and the troll-looking guys, and it's like all like mythological creatures living with humans.
Orlando Bloom's one. Carnival Row.
Carnival Row. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, Carnival Row.
I didn't watch it. I watched like 2 episodes, and that was it. So
I actually went through and finished the series, and I really liked what they did with it. But I love the whole aesthetic. I love the music.
A little visual in places too.
Yeah.
So
we watched Game of Thrones, so we bought all the DVDs except for a couple of seasons. Yeah, we still haven't bought the last couple of seasons, I think, but
he still needs to finish his writing.
I know. Before he passes away, because I know his health is horrible.
I was happy to hear that all of Book of the Fallen is done.
Yeah.
There are even
they're working on a prequel for
and there are even
Game
prequel books out. Some of them co-authored with him and other people that are stuff that goes back before the story starts.
I have them for you to watch.
But the main 10 novels for Book of the Fallen are printed. You can get them in hardcover or paperback. So that's...
Drax says I have them for you to watch. I have Grimm too. Good morning.
Morning.
We're doing, by the way, coffee-wise, we are doing the chock full of nuts this morning, which is a lighter roast. And it's smooth.
It's a medium roast. Yep.
Yeah. But I like it.
It reminds me of something I've had in diners that aesthetically on the inside look like something you would have walked into in the 50s.
Yeah.
But aren't,
Yeah.
Not like
Waffle House.
Not like a Waffle House or an IHOP's coffee, but just like if you walked into like just some place with a guy with a white hat on sweeping the floor or whatever in the 50s, and that would probably taste like the coffee that. And what's funny is there's a very funny reference to Chock full of Nuts in Bucket List.
Yeah.
With Morgan Freeman, and Morgan Freeman's line, he's pretty much like, just bury my ashes in a can under a tree in a chock full of nuts can.
Yeah. Yeah. Him and Nicholson were a riot. The skydiving scene
when they
in that movie.
Speed raced those classic cars and then wrecked them at the end. Yeah. And I was just like, ah!
Yeah. Yes, your neck looks like it's stiff this morning, Val.
It is a bit. The right side has been kind of
dodgy.
Yeah, a little bit.
I
can hold my head up, and I can look
stretching exercises
side to side, but it's
I got him the new fashionable little heating pad here that he can nuke and stick on his neck. So if he starts glowing, we know what happened. If he starts glowing in the dark, we know it's because he's been microwaving the crap out of that thing. But
I'm not going to wear it during my class, but it's going to be...
Yeah, the heat's working better than
after
the ice,
about 45 minutes of an hour, that's going to be challenging.
Yeah. But he's still been teaching.
Yeah.
But I saw the plaid and was just like, okay, I have to get... I've got fabric and stuff. I could probably make you some. Just get because that's the buckwheat.
Yeah.
Insert whatever, but I can get like flax, or I can get any of that. I think the flax will hold the heat better.
Okay. I'm
not sure, but I know when I'm cooking with flax or anything, it's got kind of an oily residue on it. So
yeah,
I understand why they went with the buckwheat kind of stuff. But it's supposed to have gel in there too, which is what you're heating when you're putting it in the microwave. So it seems to be working. It'll be your fault you got it for him. Yeah, he starts glowing in the dark. It's because I wanted a nightlight to read. So, speaking of reading, nice segue. See what I did there? So, I've got a couple of books. One's an old one that I reread practically every year. And Issa's actually reading it now. It's her first romance novel, pseudo romance novel. I don't like romance novels on the whole, but Nora Roberts trilogies I like, and I think because I'm a writer, I can see the formula between the three books on all those. Whether it's a female protagonist or a male protagonist,
there's something going on in them.
Same.
There's not just
and her stories are good for those. But this one's the first one in the Three Sisters Island trilogy. I actually had to get another copy of these because I wore the other one down so bad reading it. But the one character in here has the bookstore that I want, the Cab Bookstore Cafe. Very witchy and but still mainstream enough to not be, like Arcana Cabana. Although I would love Arcana Cabana, but I wouldn't want to feel like I was risking my life going in there every day because all the stuff is precariously piled to the ceiling. This is another one that I picked up. I have not started reading it. And this one just looked really interesting because paper artist, and I studied under a magician for 2 years who specialized mainly in card tricks, hand illusion kind of stuff. So I'm going to play with this one and see how that goes. And then, of course, this one, shameless plug. So this is my newest book. Fits perfect with spoopy season. I have a rubber stamp coming with the moth on the back, and I actually got an email that I don't want to talk about a whole lot, but I may have an opportunity coming up because I ordered these stamps from a particular company and they saw my work. So I will let you guys know about that if that happens. So negotiations.
Fingers crossed.
But yeah, Nora Roberts was one of my ex's favorite writers. Yeah, there's been a couple. There's one standalone, Chasing Fire, I think, that's about a woman who trains rescue dogs. That was really interesting. That I liked. Nora does her homework, for one thing, and as a writer, her big thing is you can't edit a blank page, and that's always been my. That's always my thing with the writers group is, we'll do critique if you need it, but I'm big on doing creative exercises and getting it down on paper. And that's kind of why I started doing Wordy Wednesday. Thank you, Drac. Good prayers sent out for you. And then this, okay, here's the actual size. Here's my baby mock-up. So this little piggy, I am talking to a couple of companies about getting the board book made. I can get one copy for like $25 as a mock-up. Actually, possibly less than that, because I've been talking. The CEO actually emailed me back from the company. I don't know if that's standard or not, but it was the CEO.
Yeah.
Sent me a message and said that they looked at my stuff on Instagram and everything and liked my work. It's like, good, offer me a publishing deal. But I'm probably going to have to go through a traditional publishing company, because if I order copies, I have to order like 500 copies. That's a pallet. I don't have room for a pallet.
Yeah, 500's a pallet.
Well, I don't know if 500 is a pallet, but if it's,
I mean, in the normal
in this size,
yeah,
and it's that thick,
yeah, that's what I mean. Like
500 of these,
you do,
yeah,
what an 8x8 book or whatever, as a board book, or 5.5. Okay,
yeah, but it's gonna be probably a pallet. I just don't have,
no place we can store that.
Have a microscope. Don't tempt me, Drac. You've seen how small I can make stuff.
Boy, no
I will make a teeny tiny version. But yeah, so if I get somebody to pick it up, because they've had a lot of people talking in the One Children's Book group that I talked to, I was like, has anybody here published a board book? It doesn't sound like anybody really has done it before. They're focused usually on regular children's books, picture books. So I got some general publishing advice, which of course they didn't know that I own a publishing company and that I've been working with authors since the 90s. So it was information that I already had, but I was, grateful that they were listening. But it's a situation where you kind of have to stick to your guns until you get the deal that you want, or self-publish. Ordering, I could Kickstarter the book. The company does work with people who have done Kickstarter before for projects, but again, I don't have the storage. And with us getting ready to go into winter, I wouldn't want to put the books in a regular storage unit. I would need something that's climate controlled, and I don't have the extra funding for that. I'm realizing I still have this little ducktail thing going on back here. That thing's been bothering me. I need to get over to the hair salon and get her to trim the back up correctly, because I've just been kind of finagling it, and I need to shave the sides again. But so that's just going to be one of those. It's going to come out when it comes out, how it's going to come out. And, if I can order them and get the price down low enough, it's still not all that feasible. Mm-hmm. I really want to go traditional publishing company, but a lot of them will take, they'll look at what the book is. They probably won't use my illustrations. They'll want to use their own, which is why you stick to your guns. Because this is my baby. It's not about whether or not I'm interested in editing or anything. It's done. It's as is. This is how I want it. Mm-hmm. If it was a regular color novel or something like that,
color palette and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had very specific choices, like, with that. So we'll see how that goes, how that happens. Novel wise, Stalemate, I'm still thinking is going to come out before the Twitch story. I just want it printed and sold, no mock-ups. I don't want somebody altering it to suit them. I want to get it printed and published as is. So I'll order the one mock-up so I can use it to promote. But I'm in the process of researching companies that I can send query letters to and they'll get a digital copy of it. I'm going to copyright it first. They'll get a digital copyright of it, but they're not going to get a physical mock-up unless they request it, unless I can work out a deal with the printing company. So we'll see. I don't know. I've been asking questions and getting replies from the CEO of the company, so I'm hoping that's a good thing. So spooky for the 12-hour stream, it's going to be 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Sunday, not this week, but the next week on actual Halloween. And the games I'm going to be playing, I might do some artwork, but I'm thinking I'm going to go straight for the gaming aspect. And it's going to be, pull up my Steam here. It's going to be some pretty dark games. Isa and Josh will probably join me for Phasmophobia. So if you guys want to see me jump scare, this is going to be it. Let me see. Black Book Prologue, which is one of the ones I backed on Kickstarter. Don't Starve Together, if I can get Josh and Isa to join, or Isa and I can run around, or you and me and Isa, if you can get it to run.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it free? I don't.
Yeah, you've played it before.
No, I haven't.
Don't Starve Together.
Don't Starve. Oh, yeah,
yes. You have played
sorry,
it together.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I thought you said. Sorry, I thought you meant Phasmophobia.
No.
I was like, I don't own that game.
No, I don't think your computer would run it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No,
but,
not likely.
Yeah. But the Year Walk, which I love, if you guys haven't seen it yet, it was originally an iPad game, and they came out with a PC version, so I've got that.
The one on the right. The one on the right. The
what?
One on the right.
Among
Middle right. Right. Not left. Right. All the way at the right. The one on the screen
Black
right
Book.
now. Black Book.
Yeah.
Wasn't that one with
that's the one that's the Kickstarter.
The Slavic myth or
yes.
whatever? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to be playing that.
Fantastic.
Creeks is another one.
Heard really good things about that. So.
Yeah.
The art's gorgeous too. Creeks
is another one. Don't Starve Together. The Room. I'm definitely going to play that. Long Dark. Episode 4, Fury Then Silence is out now. Little Nightmares, which is creepy. It's creepy. It's been out for 4 years.
Yeah, the 4th chapter of Long Dark. I would definitely.
Shady Part of Me.
There's a language warning on that one.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Is that what the Fury Then Silence is?
Well, like I said,
I'm gonna do the Halloween.
The inmates are.
Yeah, I won't be doing that then. I'll do
rather.
Yeah, I won't be doing that
vocal.
one. I'll be doing the Halloween one when they launch it. Shady Part of Me. I've got Stranded Deep. I've got.
That's interesting.
I have all the Tomb Raider games.
I don't think I've even seen that one yet.
Stranded Deep?
No, Shady Part of Me.
Oh, Shady Part of Me is interesting because you and your shadow are two separate characters. So you can go places your shadow can't, and your shadow can go places that you can't. So your shadow turns on
that's fun.
levers, and because if you hit, if you're walking around in the sun and you hit a shadow, it starts you back at the beginning. It kills you. So the shadow can manipulate things to open up a window, let sunlight in, that kind of thing. But the opposite is true. The sun will hurt the shadow. So you have to, you're playing chess basically, because you're figuring out, okay, where can I move this one so it doesn't disappear because there's no shadow there. And how do I avoid the light? And there's different things that you do that you're switching between the two. Yeah, it's more like a puzzle game. The Gear Walk, which is gorgeous. It's all watercolor style artwork, which Long Dark is like that too.
Yeah.
Long Dark, the artwork is beautiful. And I've reached out to them to see if I can get the Hinterland mugs because they have the Jackrabbit one, which I'll get, and then I'll get the logo one for you. Unless there's another one that they have, but right now I know their shop still has the COVID closed message on there, and I don't know if they're if they've figured out a different way to open that up, but I'm going to see if I can get those. Lake Ridden is another one that's kind of a puzzle game. Let me see here. Dear Esther, you're walking around, there's narration. It's interesting, but it's not really a game per se. You're just finding trigger points for it to tell you a story. Drawn, I might actually play a little bit of. Drawn's pretty cool because you can hop into paintings and there's more stuff to solve inside the painting in that terrain. And then you jump back out of the painting and you start, but it's got kind of a spoopy storyline to it. I've got a couple of games here that I got free or had a code for or was gifted, and I haven't even played them yet. Outer Wilds, I haven't messed with yet, but it kind of reminds me of a lot of
someone we like to watch on YouTube plays a lot of the zombie apocalypse survival kind of stuff, and he's playing one right now with 2 episodes up that we can watch. I can't remember the name of the game he's playing. It's like The Last of Us or something like that, and it's zombie apocalypse. Yeah.
There's a couple of games. Let me see here. I have a bunch of spoopy stuff.
A lot of the zombie horror seems to have a different
I'm not
feel,
really
though.
Into
it doesn't have like the puzzly kind of corner of your eye stuff. It's just kind of like, here's the monster in your face, rah, and it's just kind of like
it directs like most of the games that are horror are not really that scary to me, at least to me. Well, I've seen the movies that you watched, and he's like totally into the horror genre. You need to read Owl's book Crota. You really need to read Crota. Crota is awesome, and it was one of the first. And I was thinking Graveminder was the first horror that I'd read. It wasn't. It was Crota. So Crota and then Breed.
If you classify Stephen King as horror, which I suppose depends on which Stephen King. I've read several, but beyond that, I don't really read horror.
Graveminder you read.
Yeah, I've read that.
Yeah.
I did finish that. That took me forever to finish, though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I liked Thinner. Not so much the movie, but the book for Thinner was really good. I had almost the whole collection of paper hardcovers when I worked at Books A Million, because we'd get them in on the dollar table, and with the manager that I had, they would, as long as we didn't go crazy, we would be able to go in and pick out books when they, before they went out on the tables. We still had to buy them. We didn't get a discount on the dollar books. But I think most of the Stephen Kings came in, and they were all hardcovers. They were all huge. And Thinner, the paperback version, was the only one I ever read for years. And then I got rid of them. I sold them because all it was the dust jacket was,
it's one of the ones
backwards or something was wrong with it. And it was misprinted, or
printed the opposite direction.
Yeah, or the spine was printed upside down.
Like a manga almost.
Yeah, the spine was printed upside down, or something. Or something was odd with it. So they just launched them all out to the dollar table.
I've seen them.
So we got shipments in of those. It was the dust jacket on one of them, and I think the inside flap had been switched or was upside down compared to the rest of the cover or something. And that's a major faux pas. Somebody should have caught that one before it went. But as a book designer, I was just like, I can't even imagine how something that bad went out. And knock on wood, I better not be too critical because I'll end up doing it myself. I've made mistakes like that, but I'll catch stuff because I go through and triple check everything, and then I throw it at you to proofread. And because after a while it becomes white noise. You've been looking at it long enough. But so Stephen King. The other, trying to think, movies are a big thing too for me. So like I said, I was talking about Woman in Black, and Clive Barker, Dean Koontz. I've had some of the Dean Koontz books. Anne Rice. I think I've read just about everything Anne Rice. Neil Gaiman. There's some newer stuff from Neil Gaiman that's pretty cool, and he's actually got a master class on writing that I need to watch. Rice is More Vampires. She did a mummy and some other creatures though too. The one book series that I really liked, and it was the Blood series from the 90s. Was Blood Price, Blood Trail, Bloodlines, Blood Pact, Blood Debt. So I had those. Apparently in 2008, she started writing it again. So I'm going to have to look for those. Blood Bank, Blood Shot came out in 2020, and Blood Banked came out in 2021. Nice. So of course they've got all new covers and everything, but I have the original from those first 5 that I love that series. So this is, I'll link it. This is Tanya Huff here. And Rice's stuff, I've actually, I've read her other books, Recolaire, under Anne Recolaire. The Beauty series, her books are really well done. Who's the other author? I've got this one because you guys know I'm a fanatic for Band Talk because of all the inclusions and everything. So there's this one too. This one is called S, and it's actually J.J. Abrams, but this book is red herring. This is a fake book. So they wrote Ship of Theseus by V.K. Straka. Little library sticker on here. Vintage cover. The whole thing's really nicely done. It's done like an old book. They even have the library card stuff in the back. But the book S isn't this book. The book S is everything that's written in the margins, because the book is being found and passed back and forth by 2 people and left in the library. So they start having a conversation in the margins. And so the actual book is the margins.
That was an interesting concept when it came out. I had never seen anything like that before. Tons
of inclusions in it. There's postcards. There's a prayer card. There's a napkin in here.
There's a wheel.
That's actually got, that's a decoder wheel kind of thing. There's a newspaper clipping. There's, let me see if I can find the napkin one, because that was really cool. There's a travel postcard. There's old photographs.
I have a lot of old photographs like that.
Line
That's funny.
paper.
have an
Postcard.
entire family album that's all old black and white photos like that from like the 40s and 30s.
Mm-hmm. But there's one in here that's an actual napkin.
Oh, where is it?
Yeah, that's why I'm like trying to find it. There's so much stuff included stuck in here.
I like that plain yellow note sheet.
Yeah.
The little, like you ripped it out of a legal pad or something.
Yeah. Exactly. Where is it?
This is the only paper I have available. Rip. Just start writing.
Well, that's what the napkin is, and I'm trying to find it. As much is stuck in here.
I think we've all been there though, where you're just like you're struggling to.
So it's an actual napkin.
To get your thoughts on paper, and suddenly you just start scrawling on the nearest napkin in a restaurant where you're eating lunch or something. Even got
pronghorn Java on the side, which that'd be kind of a cool mug to have, is if we can get the pronghorn Java mug for that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a map that was drawn on there on an actual napkin. Just too cool. But stuff like this is why I want to do the things that I want to do with the interactivity. And, I like stuff that involves me. And so being able to, pull something extra out of the book and make it a little more real, like with the one video game.
It's like I'm not that. It's like I'm not that kind of person, but I have a strong appreciation for these companies that are putting together like mail out mysteries where they send you like a box
the Hunt a Killer,
or a manila folder full of a bunch of stuff, and you have to figure out what's going on.
I have a few of those.
It's not my thing, but I appreciate people who do that. Companies that do that kind of stuff, because it's
I actually kind of want to do something like that, and I have an idea that I'm toying with Issa it'll come from, instead of Renmeleon or Rock Paper Fox, it's going to come from Two Crows. So we're looking at the possibility of doing like a limited run. And I would want to come out with a new one probably every 6 months, maybe every 3 months. Depends on if Issa and I are working on it together. But I think twice a year coming out with something. I'd start out with once a year to see how it goes. Come out with one, see what happens, see how it goes, and then go from there. But yeah, so I have my little list here I made of the spoopy movies or the spooky movies stuff, anything Hitchcock, which is all year round. My favorite ghost story one, though, is called The Uninvited from 1944, I think. It's Ray Milland. Hellboy 2, specifically because of the troll market. I love the troll market. I would live in the troll market. Hammer Horror, any of those. Anything Vincent Price. Newer stuff, Woman in Black, but I would not watch Woman in Black 2 because it was just, I don't like gratuitous slasher stuff. And it's just from the trailer, there's so much blood and gore and everything involving the kids. I'm like, no. Nope. Yeah, Hellboy 2 is awesome. And I loved, what's his name? I can never remember his name. Had a total crush on his character. Prince Nuada. It was Luke Goss. Because I loved him in One Night with the King, where he was playing Xerxes. Yeah. So he's really good in that. But it wasn't that bad. Yeah, I saw the trailer though. But it wasn't that bad coming from you. I don't know. I know the movies you watch. But I'll take a look at it. I'll watch a few minutes of it and see if it's crazy bad. But the thing about Woman in Black that I loved was because it was more what you didn't see. And, you know, of course, the Room Full of Nightmares with all the toys, the monkeys. We actually have the toy monkey doll.
The dolls.
For, in fact, it's right there, that box. Yeah. So a friend of mine gave me this. Our bread fairy, Howard, gave me this. And it's a wind-up toy that we use with Betrayal at House on the Hill, which is absolute favorite board game. But at one point, if you pull the toy monkey gets a turn. And we never remember to give the toy monkey a turn. So I got this from Howard because he was getting rid of it. And it's a little wind-up toy monkey. So it's one of the little crazy monkey ones. So, and otherwise it's like everybody's like, no, hide that. I don't want to see it. I don't want to look at it, you know. And here, you put that back up there.
It's right up here.
Actually, no, because your shoulder and everything. Let me have it.
Okay.
Don't
All right.
I don't want to. I know you'll try and you'll end up hurting yourself, but
okay.
Also, I've got to move the other stuff to put it back up there. More suspense and horror. I love, like, I don't do slasher movies. I never did Halloween or I watched the first Freddy Krueger movie, Nightmare on Elm Street, and was just kind of like, okay. And the Halloween franchise, what's the other one? There's Michael Myers.
Mm-hmm.
And there's...
Well, Halloween's the one that's got like over 20 of them. Or has like a 20th anniversary one, and then has like... There's like a
Jamie
ton of
Lee
movies
Curtis
for
is
that
doing
one.
another one that just came out.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm hoping
Nightmare on
that
Elm
I
Street.
think is going to be the last one for the franchise.
Nightmare on Elm Street, and
said I had an old clapping monkey once, got ruined in the flood. I told you about. Yeah, the old one, they're creep me out. The old ones creep me out. Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, no, there was the Halloween franchise, and there was the other one. So there's the two guys with the masks. It's Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers. What's the other one? It's not Halloween.
Like I said, I don't watch them.
My brain's losing it.
Like I said, I don't watch horror.
Friday the 13th.
So
Friday the 13th. Thank you. It was on the tip of my tongue. So, I like that suspense, that, you know, that moment where you realize you've been holding your breath and you didn't even know you were holding your breath. You're just kind of like on the edge of your seat. Or it's so suspenseful that you do jump scare kind of thing. You know, stuff like that. Very, very Hitchcock, very Hammer horror kind of thing. And the Hammer horror stuff is you'll have an acceptable ending, not necessarily a happy ending, but it's an acceptable ending that you're okay with, you know, like in Woman in Black. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but it was kind of like I was okay with the ending. Mm-hmm. It definitely wasn't, it was a happy ending in a way, but not in the conventional, you know, right off into the sunset. It was a different kind of sunset. But yeah, Texas Chainsaw movies. I don't like the ones that are based on true crime because it's just a little too real for me. And I have an overactive imagination as a writer and an artist. And like I said, I'm just not into the blood and gore and the, you know, that kind of thing. I'm not necessarily give me Nightmare Before Christmas all the time. Well, I am give me Nightmare Before Christmas all the time, but I'm not, it doesn't have to be cutesy, spoopy, or anything like that. Like I said, Woman in Black, the thing that people don't realize is Woman in Black, she was in anything in the house. She was literally in every scene. And people don't realize she was in the background on some of the stuff. Like there was a couple I didn't even spot. And I was just like, oh, crud. She was there the whole time. And so with the Twitch story, I'm kind of playing on
Mm-hmm.
my feelings from that on when the final book, because the one right now is just a very rough draft. And but that's the feeling I want you to have with the walking around in the halls upstairs, is that what's around the corner, what's, you know, what kind of, because of the fact that Gregory can be anywhere at any time, you know, what's, you know, she's going to hide in this room or something and then he's there, or, you know, but that suspense feeling, I think that's my favorite part, is like, you enjoy being scared. You're not, I get desensitized if it's like these slasher movies or whatever. It's kind of like, okay, we're going to watch this like it's a B movie and you're just going to laugh at it because it's just like, it's so gratuitous. It's so, you know, somebody had sent me a link to probably the most awful B movie ever, is Velocipaster. It makes Sharknado look really good. Yeah. So yeah, no, definitely not into the most I'll go through with that is like fried green tomatoes. is like human flesh in the chili sauce, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, no.
Secrets in the sauce. But that's definitely fried green tomatoes is the line I draw with that kind of stuff. But
the pie.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pie.
But the I had seen like Hellraiser.
Yeah, Pinhead.
Yeah. I had seen Hellraiser, the first one, but I didn't get into the
I've
whole
only
franchise.
I haven't seen any of the films. I've seen a guy dressed in a really good cosplay at like a con or at Universal Studios, for example.
Yeah.
Just a guy
Halloween
walking
Horror
around
Nights.
who was hired by the theme park to walk around and be like, rah, you know, and just kind of freak people out, you know, which was great.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, Scarefest. The guys from the one haunted house that were the one the one African American guy that had the white contacts in, that was really tall, looked like he just drug himself out of a swamp. And he was half zombified, was walking around, you know, all bloody and gory. Was the sweetest person. Like absolute sweetest person. But and the little kids, we, you know, got into that discussion last time, is people were terrified of Darth Vader, but they'll walk up to, you know, these crazy you know, crazy bloody gory characters. Can I have a hug kind of thing? And I'm like,
yeah,
that's an interesting psychology. But the other thing I love watching this time of year, and we like watching them, you know, on a pretty much any time, but the like Taps or Ghost Hunters or Haunted Collector, or which he's not making any more shows, but there's a couple of them that we found recently that aren't bad. The Haunted Saginaw series, Saginaw, Michigan, is really, really, really cool. But there's a couple of guys that I don't necessarily like their methods on some of their other stuff. But let me see if I can find them. Is it Carrie? I can't think. I'm gonna go back far enough past all my stuff I've watched on YouTube, surfing around on YouTube. Let me see here. And I love watching the one guy, Chris, do the puzzles and everything too. He always makes it kind of spooky. Yeah, we got on a kick of watching the hot sauce show. Everybody too. So there's a few of those in here.
Wizards has announced a couple of things recently too.
Yeah.
They do plan on putting out several books in the next year and a half, including one that's due to come out first, which I believe is not Planescape. It's Spelljammer equivalent for 5th edition, which was something they pushed out in 2nd edition way back in the early 90s. So if you're interested in Spelljammer, or if you were, they're developing that for 5th edition here in the next 6 months or so, into next year. So in addition to anything that they're doing, not only for their own agenda, but for the Critical Role group and their world.
Here it is, Sam and Colby.
Which it doesn't necessarily interest me. However, lots of people are. So there you go.
Yeah. Sam and Colby, these guys. They've got a few that are pretty good. They actually went out to Cerro Gordo, which was really cool. Hey, Tabitha! Spoopiness is where it is. Yes. So these guys do the ghost hunting thing, and they're kind of fun to watch. But they went out to Cerro Gordo, which is, we've been following Brent with Cerro Gordo.
He's due for a new video up here in the next maybe week or so, hopefully. He's been keeping in contact on YouTube with his viewers, but it's been 2 or 3 weeks since he's put a video up, though, so kind of worried.
They're trying to
rebuild the hotel that's on the site that burned down back, 10 months ago or whatever, back in like March or April of last year.
Yeah, and he actually does have a haunted building on there too. This is Brent's channel, and they're trying to get. The
bunkhouse is haunted.
Yeah,
he'll like walk by it and he'll look over and like the light went on.
Yeah, he's like, I know I locked that door.
He has the only key to the only lock in the entire building, and he looks over and the light's turned on, and he's just like.
And then he's had some other stuff happen too, where they saw somebody in the curtain. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's had some interesting stuff going on, and it's already out in the middle of nowhere. It's off to the side of Death Valley.
It's almost.
He went hiking out there and it got to 120 degrees, and it got really bad.
The first day he pulled up on site, it was snowing. He had to drive his truck up in there in the snow.
Yeah. Yeah, and the drive there is insane too. But there's one thing too that he's really got me wanting is he has a drone camera that I don't have a use for it, so I wouldn't get one. But it's got an AI system on it to where he can actually be on his motorcycle. He's got like a dirt bike. He'll be going up the trail, and the drone will follow him. And depending on how it's programmed, will come in and swoop down and get his face and then go around him and come up, and he's totally on, AI control. It's scary. So they have plans to camp in the Pine Barrens over Halloween weekend. It's supposed to be in the most haunted woods in the U.S. Also the place where the legend of the New Jersey Devil comes from. Oh, that's fun. You don't know what you're thinking. Yeah, that's totally an Eric idea.
Sounds like it.
Get a picture of anything you see. That is if you come back. Don't do that to her, Drac. Don't do that to her. Yeah, it's like, okay, post a photo, on your social media, schedule it. It's like, this is what I was wearing the last time when we went into the forest. And if we don't come back and you don't hear from me on Monday, then, the thing will post. This is who you're looking for. I'm sorry. I think like that. That's exactly what I would do. It's like, I'll schedule a post for Monday, and if I get back, I can cancel it. And if I don't, then they know what I looked like when I went in there. Here's my itinerary. Sorry, I'm that person. But I'm also that person that I do, here's what you're looking for. I do, I have 2 solar chargers for stuff, and I've got 1,873 camping days under my belt before my health took a dive. So I was in the SCA medieval reenactment group for 15 years. We literally went camping Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every weekend except for 2 weekends in the summer because it was just too hot. But, Florida, we didn't have snow, but it gets super cold. It get like 9, 10, 11 degrees. And we were probably 5 miles from the campsite. So if it got too stupid, we'd just everybody pile up the futon mattresses and take them back to our house. And we, can't have the living room would be a giant floor of futons. Have coffee, make popcorn, and sit and watch a movie or something, and then go back camp the next day. But I love camping. I miss camping. I know how to build the nomadic furniture. I said nothing is too hot for the real camper, or cold for that matter. I've done the survival stuff where you're going out there with pretty much clothes on your back and a knife. Did that one time, but I'm, Issa would do better with, foraging and being out in the wild in some cases than I would, because she knows can remember the terminology and the plants and everything better.
Yeah.
But I'm not straight up glamping level now, but I would have to take preparations and different things for going actually camping now, because of my health. But the nomadic furniture and things like, we had a friend of ours that they built a yurt that you could put up in 15 minutes by yourself. We did a Viking longhouse, basically just an A-frame tent with carved wooden poles on either end. The yurt was 20 foot in diameter, and you could put a fire pit in the middle of it. And I love that thing. We used to, and it was like, I was over in their camp, part of the camp, more than I was in my own. But like Pennsic War, people spend major money on, furs and these fancy carpets. And then you have the nomadic furniture that you can just, pop together. Like the Viking chair is like a board going this way. And then there's another board that fits in it like this. And that's your whole chair. And they're really super comfortable. But the beds would have all the things would fit together, and then you pop wooden pins in, and then there's a net that went over it, and you put your furs and everything down, or, futon or air mattress or whatever, but you were off the ground. So some of those were even more comfortable than a regular bed. But yeah, we used to have fun with that. But so what are your plans for Halloween? What are you guys doing anything? I know you're doing camping, which is like the coolest thing. I cannot wait to see photos. Tell Eric to take an extra battery and an extra memory card, because I want to see photos. And you gotta take the obligatory like s'mores and hot cocoa.
Fire striker and can opener.
Yeah, fire striker, can opener. I actually have like the survival kit kind of thing.
Although, on that note, I've gotten really good at opening cans with the Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. Oh.
I opened the big 24-ounce can of sauce last night with nothing but the can opener on the Swiss Army knife yesterday.
Our can opener broke.
And it didn't take me half an hour. It took me like 2 minutes. So
that reminded me.
That was great. So I could do it out in the wild now. It's perfect. It's like, so on that note.
It just takes me a little longer. But yeah, I've got the fire striker. Holy water. Holy water probably wouldn't be a bad idea. That. Holy water probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
I know where to get that.
I got moon water in the front window right now. I got my crystals out there until tonight. But speaking of spoopy, so my Patreon peeps got one of these, got a miniature version. The other
Mm-hmm.
version's about this big in their stuff. So
It's a costume.
It's a costume. So, and you can kind of put I've got this one cut so you can actually put it in this way, but it doesn't fit all the way through as well. So he's got his little costume, but so you guys have one of these come in Drac in your combat knife to top of the can, twist open. Yeah. So this is my October people got all sorts of spoopy coloring page and thaumatrope and some other stuff. What are we doing for Halloween? This weekend, Saturday, the Airship Caduceus is doing a get together in the afternoon for about 4 hours at a winery in Versailles. So we're going to do that. We've got it social distanced. There's indoors and outdoors. You have to be vaxxed. You have to, the same rules I do for my board game night is if you're at your table, you don't have to wear a mask. But if you're walking around and doing other stuff, put your mask on. So we've got that going this weekend. And I know Julie and Sean have got a party Halloween Eve that Saturday, but we're not going to be able to do it because the amount of people that are going to be there, I'm pushing it this weekend being near that small crowd. But I know they're going to have a lot more people coming. So we've decided next week we're going to actually do something just us with them for Halloween. So yeah. Yeah, they've got, oh my gosh, she went nuts with the decorations. She's got some really cool stuff. If you check out her Facebook. The other thing too, is she actually found one of the blow up decorations. It's a skelly gnome. She actually found a skelly gnome. So, but she's got like 3 witches around a cauldron. She's got a dressed up mannequin in the front yard. She's got, all sorts of stuff. So, and apparently the new neighbors across the street are giving them a run for their money. So she's adding more because they're trying to decorate each other. So that should be fun. But so we're going to go over with them next week and hang out just us and do our Halloween thing. Probably watch Hocus Pocus. Those are the definite movies too this year. I really want to see Woman in Black, Hocus Pocus. I actually want to cosplay because we were talking about trying to get Julia involved, and me and Julia and Issa doing the Sanderson sisters one year. Because Issa wants to do the amok. And because I already claimed Winifred. So I was like, I want Winifred. I got to do that. But next week, I will be wearing my witchy hat and being all witchy here for the stream. And I've got some of my spoopy decorations that Juju made. So, but yeah, so it should be fun. I want to eventually, the goal is to get a house to be able to decorate and do kind of vintagey Halloween. And do it so that it's kind of more a dark apothecary / practical magic kind of feel to it, and be able to do what do you call it? Like pumpkins and dried herbs and ravens and the occasional spider, that kind of thing. But to be able to do some form of trick-or-treating that's safe for the kids, safe for us. I really love one of the things we saw, and we were talking about it last time, was somebody from their second story window did this black and white striped worm from Beetlejuice and used it as a candy chute from their second story window down to the kids.
Just shuttled the candy
street.
down to
Yeah.
the kids.
So this worm's coming out of the building, and they've got part of it coming out the other side, but they have it coming down, and then they just drop the candy bags to the kids. I don't that's such a cool idea, regardless of COVID, but people have gotten really inventive with, how can we do this safely?
Candy delivery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The trunk or treat, I'm starting to see the coolness about that, but it's still kind of like
it always bothered me.
Yeah, it's still kind of
it always bothered me just because it seems strange.
Yeah, well, they've come up with decorations that you can attach to your car now, so it looks like a gaping monster mouth, and it's kind of cute, but it has the teeth coming down, and it's the trunk, and it fits around the trunk when it's open. It's pretty cute, but people are definitely getting inventive. Would like to get a huge old house and invite people over. Then, to their dismay, trying to get out because it's now an escape room house. I love escape rooms, and that's actually something that we're going to do with the brown coats, because there's one that you can do online. So I'm making arrangements to do that. It's not going to be next week like I had originally wanted to, because they're kind of slow getting back to me. But I'm hoping sometime in November, while we're still like the first part of November, while we're still kind of in that mode, but not leaping toward Christmas just yet. You're still in the fall, autumn kind of mode. But hopefully I'll have some information for everybody about that. But we're going to call it, because I don't want to hit my Escapers horror thing. No, I never saw the Saw series of movies. Nope. Sorry. Nope. I draw the line. Nope. But we're going to go ahead and call it, because I know he's starting to get kind of uncomfortable too. But we actually went over our hour time. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and chit-chatting. It's good to see you, Tabitha. Good to see you, Drac. And anybody else that's tuning in, we do this Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Next week is going to be a Halloween episode. So maybe we'll turn the light out and turn the spot, the ring light on, and do some spooky stuff and have some music in the background and that kind of thing. So we'll figure it out. But hopefully we'll see you next week, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for YouTube. And my next Twitch stream is going to be at noon on Saturday. Or actually, no, we said we were canceling that because of so Tuesday next week, Tuesday night, art night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. I'm not going to be streaming this Saturday because we're doing Versailles and I have to get the food stuff before we go. So it's just easier to not do that. So no stream on Saturday for me for Twitch. I will be making an announcement on Twitter and be posting some new updates on Twitch over there too. So, but love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Stay well, stay safe. Enjoy your festivities. If I don't see you between now and then. And I definitely want to hear more about the camping trip, Tabby. So we gotta get together and talk about that amongst other things. So, but you guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you later. Bye.